Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy Bubba Bass. I just got back from an urban park down the street from my house, Copper Sky. I got on two fish. I'll go ahead and play those clips right now. But I want to go over a little bit as to how I got these fish to bite, because I did go out Thanksgiving morning and I was using the same thing, a rooster tail, just white, throwing it out there, reeling it in, and I had maybe five fish follow it all the way back to shore. I was there about an hour and a half. I had them follow it all the way back to shore, and they would turn around and swim off. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I left and stuff, and I went out there today about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, so I'm getting followers. They're not committing. Maybe I need to, slow my presentation down, and what could I use? So I said, no, I'm gonna try a drop shot. So I put on a drop shot and I wacky rigged a little trout worm, and I'm throwing it out there, and I'm standing on. They have like these blocks, these wooden pillars that go out around some reeds, and I'm standing out on the corner, so it gives me kind of a good aerial view, and I could see the fish out there swirling, and they were hitting top water. It was 3:30, 4 o'clock. Sun wasn't even close to going down, so I'm like, okay, so they're high in the water column. So the drop shot, it wasn't gonna work. I even tried taking the weight off, throwing it just weightless, and then just kind of jerking it back. And I did have a few followers on that, but nothing committed. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? What do I need to do now? And I throw the rooster tail back on, and I fling it out there. And as soon as it hits the water, I kind of just pull in a pulling motion and just keep it close, maybe 6 to 3 inches below the surface, and I could see the fish swirling on it. I was getting bumped almost every cast after I started doing that. But the trick was I had to pull. Not when I reeled, I wasn't getting anything. I had to actually pull and keep my rod up high, and then I would get hit. And I did end up managing to get two. I don't know how many I had bite it, and I'd try to set the hook and miss. They were short striking. But that's what I did to get them to bite, to figure them out. So just remember, when you're out there, guys, you got to figure them out. Try to put something together. Even if you go out there one day and if you could commit the time to figure them out, and then get on them, then cool. But if you were like me and just went out there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and had to go, and by the time you figure out what's going on or what you can do, it's too late. So I actually went back and I tried to regroup and try something else, but I ended up figuring out exactly what they wanted. I had enough time to figure it out before the sun went down. It got kind of dark. So I did get two. I'm going to go ahead and clean them up right now, so stay tuned after. I'll show you how to do that. That's a tease. That's just a little tease. Telling you. They keep bumping my bait, but I can't get them to eat it. I'm getting a bunch of bumps every cast. They're just short striking the crap out of it. Finally. I know I was getting hit on every cast. I'm like, come on, you guys gonna hit that or what? There's a whole school. They're bigger than this.
Oh, really? There's a school of them there?
They're bigger than this. I can see them all.
Okay. Well, it's good to be that time in the evening, though, too.
Who's got a... You got an extra bag, bud?
You got one, didn't you?
Yeah. You got an extra bag, bud?
I don't.
You don't? Hmm. You got an extra stringer, bud, or a bag? Yeah.
Yeah, we got one. Wait, that's a trout?
Yeah. Nice one. There's a bunch of them, dude. I was getting hit like every...
They're flying.
Yeah, every cast, they're just boom, boom,
On the spinner?
boom.
You're
Yeah.
on the spinner?
Yeah, rooster tail.
Yep.
Oh, and I was like, I'm not going to catch anything.
No, I just kept seeing them fly at it, and I'm like, man, they're flying at the surface right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange that the trout are hitting the surface because the water is hot.
Yeah.
They're cold water.
Yeah. I know, that is strange. And I'm running it maybe 6 inches, and I can see them. The whole school come and bang at it. And thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. What happens if you let it go all the way to the bottom? You don't pull it off. You might want to just let it sink for a little bit, you know.
That he hit that right on the
Well, there you go. There's a quick release.
right on the drop.
Yeah, well, that's what I
I
mean.
seen him come and swirl on it.
Sometimes it helps to let it drop then.
Okay, I'm gonna go where you are.
Oh, I'll let him cast. It's all right. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. These are the 2 trout I got on. They're not very big. I mean, this is the small one. We're going to go ahead and measure him. He's only 13 inches. The bigger one is 13 and a half. So they're not very big, but they're pan sized. They're edible. So let's go ahead and get to how I clean them. This is just a little cleaning board. It's got like a clip over here where you can actually put the tail to hold them, because trout are pretty slippery, and you stick that on the tail in there and hold it down, and it holds them tight. All right, so what you're gonna need, of course, thank you, Lead, for the knife. I'm gonna go ahead and put that to some use right now. Get you a nice sharp knife, and then from the belly of the fish, from the old anus here, you want to cut into that. Oh my god, this knife is so sharp. Cut it straight down the middle, all the way up to the gill there, all the way up to the gills. And then under the mouth here, you'll see like a V-shaped notch here. You stick your knife underneath that, inside of that little notch there, and then across, and it kind of cuts that out, and you just leaves like a little opening there, a slit, that little slit there. Now what you want to do with that is you want to stick your finger in there and grab all these guts and all the you want to grab all these gills in here, the red gills, hold it by the mouth, and then just pull back. And as you can see, you hold the mouth is still here, the bottom jaw, you cut that slit just below the bottom jaw, and then you stick your thumb inside of these gills here and just hold it and pull back. And if you can, if you're good, not like me, you'll be able to get this bottom fin off. This one didn't quite come, but you'll be able to get rid of those guts, and all the guts will come out of that one pull all the way down to the end there, just like that. And if you're good, you'll get both of these to come off. Sometimes they don't, and you can just pull the other one off, just a little extra gill plate with the fin on it, and that leaves you with just a trout. Now you can leave it like this, and I got the water hose here. Now you're gonna cut this membrane that's inside here like that. If this one's got a lot of air, and then you just run your finger in there and clean all that blood and stuff out of there. And of course, after this, you go get the water hose, you spray that out, and just kind of clean the backbone, get as much of that blood in there out as you can. All right, so there's the first fish. We got them all gutted. Still got a little bit of black stuff in here. You can get your knife and scrape that out. I really don't worry too much about it. Just get your nail and run it through there. But for the most part, it's clean. It's cleaned out, de-gutted in one swipe. So that's it. You put that one to the side. Go ahead and grab our next fish. Do the same thing. Run your knife down the belly. All the way up there. And then you get in that V. Stick your knife from one side of the V all the way to the other and split it. Stick your thumb in there. Just be careful. Sometimes people get these fish, they lose them, and they actually leave so the fish will have hooks in them. And then of course there, see, that time I got I got the fins off on one swipe. Sometimes you got to kind of work your fingers underneath there and get those off and kind of peel them back yourself so it comes off. And then just like before, they got a little air bubble in here with some black stuff, some blood, and then just get your knife and scrape along the backbone there. Spray it off with water and that's it. Alright guys, so got them sprayed off with water, cleaned out, looks good. Next you want to take a Ziploc bag or any bag and throw them in there. Because this next part, what we're going to do is put them in the freezer. Everybody's freezer is different, probably set a little different, or you know, just depends on where you put them in the freezer. But you want to wait until the fish is just kind of stiff. Try to make them straight when you put them in there. Make sure you put them in there straight, and then just wait for them to get stiff. Alright guys, so what do you do with the fish guts? Best thing you can do, bury them in the ground. They're good for your soil. They'll fertilize your lawn. I just throw them out in the desert, and the coyotes will eat them up. They'll be gone by morning. So yeah, you know, quick tip, they're good for your lawn. Throw them in your garden, bury them, leave them alone, and let Mother Nature take its course. Alright guys, so we pulled the fish out of the freezer now. Now it's not completely solid. It still has some flex in it. You don't want it completely frozen. You want some play in it. You just want it a little stiff, that's all. Just enough to stiffen it out. And then you want to get your head and you peel it back and you kind of break it. And then just be careful here because it'll end up trying to pull most of your meat off. Like it started doing there. And then you just pull that skin back. Just like that. Pull that little last fin off. And pull it all the way down to the tail. And off. And there you go, guys. And when you pull it off, you get rid of all that fatty stuff that's on the bottom there, the soft stuff comes off with it. You don't really want that on there. This is all meat. And you end up with this. This you can actually just pull right out if you want. I leave them, doesn't matter. Now number 2. Oh, it's gonna be it. Sometimes you gotta help the skin out a little bit. Otherwise, you'll pull the head right off. And it's kind of hard around here. You'll feel the skin just separate from the meat. And just kind of help it out a little. Get it a nice head start if the head feels like it's gonna start popping off. Again, just like that. Just hold it on the bottom. Oh, see, head popped off. That makes it kind of hard when you lose your head and you lose grip on the fish. So you can just hold it down and continue to pull. And this is why you want it a little frozen. down to the little fin there. Pull that out. And there you go. Still got a little bit of belly fat on there. You just rip that belly fat off. And that's it. Nice fillet, all meat, completely skinned. You can chop the tail off if you want. Good to go.